In 1970, the world lost one of their primary sources in metaphysics, Bertrand Russell. His conception of the nature of reality, the belief that reality is knowledgeable, and that it is many, are still studied to this day. Russell's turn from idealism to realism, and his rejection of psychologism, as well as his works on reality and realism, are all highly relevant aspects of philosophy. The importance of Bertrand Russell's 1872 to 1970 work on 20th century philosophy can hardly be overestimated. Russell's most lasting contributions have been mathematical logic and the philosophy of logic, but Russell was a polymath who not only grasped several fields of philosophy, but the applications of them. His beliefs on truth in particular have had a lasting result on a variety of fields of study. Luckily, Gandalf has kindly brought him back from the dead for us today, so he can partake in this exclusive interview. So let's all give a warm welcome to our guest, Mr. Bertrand Russell. We're pleased to have you here today, Mr. Russell.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to not be dead for a while.
The main reason for your resurrection was growing curiosity towards your beliefs in truth. So, for the audience and me, could you please describe in your own words the definition of truth?
Truth is a state of our beliefs. Truth is a property of beliefs and statements. It is the same with falsehoods. Truth is understood in terms of the way reality is described by our beliefs. A belief is a false when it does not reflect the state of affairs, events, or things accurately. In order for our beliefs to be true, our beliefs must agree with what is real. Note that the correspondence theory is not concerned with the discovery of truth or a means of obtaining true belief, because the theory itself cannot establish the nature of reality. Thus, a belief is true when there is a corresponding fact, and is false when there is no corresponding fact.
And how does one determine the nature of truth?
Well, there are 3 points to observe when trying to determine the nature of truth.
And what are the 3 points?
Firstly, our theory of truth must be such as to admit of the opposite, falsehood. A good many philosophers have failed adequately to satisfy this condition. Secondly, it seems fairly evident that if there were no beliefs, there could be no falsehood and no truth either, in the sense in which truth is correlative to falsehood. If we imagine worlds of mere matter, there would be no room for falsehood in such a world, and although it would contain what may be called facts, it would not contain any truths, in the sense in which truths are things of the same kind as falsehoods. Thirdly, it is to be observed that the truth or falsehood of a belief always depends on something which lies outside the belief itself. that Charles died on the scaffold, I believe truly. Not because my intrinsic quality of my belief, which could be discovered by merely examining the belief, but because of an historical event which happened 2.5 centuries ago. If I believe that Charles died in his bed, I believe falsely. No degree of vividness in my belief, or of care in arriving at it, prevents it from being false. Again, because of what happened long ago, and not because of any intrinsic properties of my belief. Hence, although truth and falsehood are properties of beliefs, they are properties dependent upon the relations of the beliefs to other things, not upon any internal quality of the beliefs.
To which theory of truth do you subscribe?
In accordance with our 3 requisites, first we have to seek a theory of truth which allows truth to have an opposite, namely falsehood. Second, it makes truth a property of beliefs. And third, it makes it a property wholly dependent upon the relation of the beliefs to outside things. Thus, I describe to the correspondence theory.
What does the correspondence theory state?
The correspondence theory states that truth is a certain relationship between a proposition and its corresponding fact.
Controversy is very common in philosophy. Why do you think that is?
Philosophy and controversy go hand in hand. Philosophy is the art of pondering the deeper meanings and answering the most important questions. Whenever dealing with such prevalent issues, it's important for people to have varying opinions and beliefs. And this, of course, is the cause of controversy.
It's time to delve into some of the deeper topics. Some have said you lived a fairly controversial life. How would you feel about that statement?
My life in itself was not controversial. Some of my work, however, was rather evoking of controversy. To evoke controversy, the most savage of controversies, the matters to which there is no evidence either way.
Which of your theories and works would you say is most controversial?
My most controversial work, by far, is titled Why I Am Not Christian.
And what aspect of that made it so controversial?
Well, the topic of my work was God, and why I do not believe in that entity. Naturally, religion is a deeply personal issue for many people, and they often consider his rules the guidelines by which they run their lives. Back during my lifetime, religion was more prominent then than now, and thus many considered my writing to be sacrilegious and blasphemous.
Well, it seems as though the spell is fading. It was wonderful talking to you, and we wish you the best of luck in the afterlife, Mr. Russell. Thank you for coming.
Goodbye.